Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews, the only show that's going to teach you
how to be somebody.
Where in your life did you learn that you're not good enough?
Take what you're most passionate about and what you're most fearful of, and what is the plan to overcome that fear, and what is the plan to enact that passion.
All right, everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews. I'm your host, AJ Armstrong. You can follow me on Instagram at AaronArmstrong33, or you can go to my website, AaronJArmstrong.com. So, Marissa and I, we got back from Destin, Florida. So that is a little bit of a sleeper location as far as great beaches. I was very, very happy with Destin as a beach location. It was wonderful. There was this area called Rosemary, that's my mother-in-law. It's Rosemary Beach. And there was a place called Alley's Beach. And the real estate developer there was just incredible. He had somehow, or she, I guess, I don't know who they were, but they had built this incredible community that looked like you were in Greece. I mean, it was just, you thought you were in a European country the way they developed this area. It was so impressive that we spent a lot of our time hanging out there. It was so beautiful, so incredible. The architecture was just amazing. You know, if as a real estate investor looking at that entire community, you were just blown away with the creativity and the artwork and everything that went into that. So the vacation was wonderful. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is it wasn't necessarily a vacation. It was actually a lot of parts to what we were doing. And, you know, before I get into this, I do want to let you guys know that we are going to be doing something really big. And the reason we actually went down there is we were filming. And we were doing some awesome film work that I'm going to be putting out some videos that are going to be showing a little bit more insight to this whole segment of Armstrong Ventures that I'm going to be launching. And it's going to be so big, it's going to be so exciting, and a lot different than what you guys are normally used to seeing. And I want you guys to be a part of it. I want you to come along with me on this journey, and I want you to watch how this thing all grows and unfolds. So I ask you guys, if you want to get some of the early bird insights to some of this, there's going to be discounts, there's going to be promotions, but there's also just going to be a lot more information for you. It's only going to be on my email address. So if you guys want to get on my email list, go to aaronjarmstrong.com/email. It's going to be in the show notes. And sign up for my email list, because that's the only way I'm going to be marketing a lot of this stuff. And I want you guys to be a part of this email list because I send out all sorts of other goodies to it. I give tons of different discounts every once in a while we give out products from Marissa's Fit Boutique on sale. I give out products for myself. I give people free access to events, or I let them know of other free events that I speak for. So I don't always do paid events. Sometimes we do free events where I bring people in, or I get asked to speak somewhere for free, and I'll go speak there because I just want to help communicate out to the community, all sorts of different stuff about how to feel good and be the best version you can be. So I want you guys to join my email list, aaronjarmstrong.com/email. And that's going to give you so much more access to all this cool stuff that we're about to launch. So it's really exciting. All the different research and marketing material and filming and all that different stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe, you guys are going to get a chance to be a part of, and you're going to get to see it. So I wanted to let you guys know that's where you got to go for that. But what we were doing down in Destin is we're filming for this upcoming venture, and I can't talk too much about it, mostly because I don't have all the details fully hashed out yet. I surprisingly have a lot more details than I normally do have, hashed out right now, but I don't have everything totally hashed out. So I want you guys to at least sign up for the email, and we're going to be releasing videos and more information and how you can join this and be a part of it as we go forward. So that was our trip. It was just beautiful. This area was incredible. It was just beautiful sunsets. We did all sorts of filming. Got to go in the water, got to get a lot of different content. So that was really exciting. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys today is when I was down there, and Marissa and I we were talking about this. It's so weird how when you get out of your normal cycle. Now, you guys know that I am a huge proponent of habits. I think you should wake up in the morning and you should have your morning routine. You should have all the different types of things you do. You do your miracle morning, your winning morning, whatever you want to call it, your priming. You want to get your focus for the day. So my morning routine usually looks something like this. I usually wake up between anywhere from 5:15 to 5:30. And then I'll wake up, I get out, and I start to do some of my morning meditation, morning prayer, and then I'll journal. But my first journaling is just kind of free journaling. I'm just thinking about, like, if I had a weird dream last night or something, or I was thinking about something, I'll journal on that, and I'll just kind of see where that goes. And then I finish out whatever I was journaling with some affirmations for the day. It's just, what can I do to be better today? What can I do to win? And how can I repeat that to myself over and over and over again? So I'll say something like, today I will be a better husband. Today I will be a better husband. I'll be the best husband. I'll be the greatest husband. Something like that. And I'll do that, and then I'll affirm that to myself, because I want to take control of the morning, right? I want to take control of that right off the bat. And then I can go into my workouts. Then I'll usually drive down to the gym. This is somewhere between 6:15. I'll arrive at the gym. I'll work out for an hour, hour and 20 minutes, and then I'll usually do a steam. And I'm a big believer in steaming the body, because first of all, you can get used to that heat, that contrast. You sweat, which is good for your lymphatic system. And then you also can get a chance to rehydrate. So I bring a gallon of water in there, and I usually finish the gallon by the time I'm out of the steam room. I get out of the steam room, I shower, I'm ready for the day. So it's just like, that's my morning, and that's usually what it looks like. And sometimes it changes on the weekends, because I'll sleep in a little bit more on the weekends, but I'll usually still wake up at 5:30. I'll look at my alarm. I might go to the bathroom, come back, and go back to sleep, because that circadian rhythm is what I want to program. So you guys know I'm a creature of habit. I believe in habits. I believe in doing little things consistently every day as it builds into your success and your portfolio. But what's interesting to me about when I travel, and this is what Marissa and I were talking about when we were down at Destin, is you experience a disruption to your rituals, to your habits, to your patterns. And it can be good and it can be bad. But it's mostly good. And here's why I believe it's good, is because we also when we get into routines, we get into the same exact patterns. And that's why we're circling around the same results. So if you guys are in this situation where it seems like once a month it comes up and the bills are piling up and you go through some crisis, or once a month you end up starting to fight with your spouse, or once a month comes around and you're behind on some payments or something, and it just seems like it's this repetitive cycle, or once a month comes around, it's like, I'm making the same amount of money in my business. I don't get it. I don't know why I'm not making more money in my business. What's going on? What is going on? This happens every single time because you're stuck in a pattern. And when you're stuck in a pattern, the only way to get out of that is to first disrupt the pattern and then replace it with a new pattern that's more productive and more helpful. So what we found is that traveling is a beautiful way to start to disrupt your patterns, because it forces you out of your routine a little bit, but does something different. Experiencing a new culture, especially a very extremely different culture. So you go to another country, or even not even a Western country, if you're a Western listener, and you go somewhere and you listen and you pay attention to these cultures and you learn about what their foods are like, and you learn about their ways of living and their worldviews and their religions and their beliefs. You're going to start to experience a different part of you, because what you're looking for is that shift in perspective. And that's what I'm looking for. When I go traveling, I want to look for a shift in perspective. I want to experience a new part of me that I haven't seen. And I always think of it as, when you're in your normal routine, you're in your day-to-day, and everything's fine, everything's good, you're going to start to experience the same emotions over and over and over again. And when you experience the same emotions over and over again, I read a stat that said about 70 to 75% of your thoughts are exactly the same every single day. 70 to 75% of your thoughts are exactly the same every single day. You know what that means? That means that if you are going to experience the same thoughts, you're going to start to experiencing the same behaviors, and you're going to be experiencing the exact same results. So how do you get out of that pattern? Well, one of the ways is to change your environment. One of the fastest ways to change your pattern is to change your environment. And that's what we're talking about with traveling. How do you get out of your way? How you go to a new place, experience a new culture. Like, you go somewhere like New York City, and it's just so much faster. The environment is very masculine. It's just all around you. Everything's so quick. So you're going to start to change your patterns a little bit to be quicker and faster, more agile, more witty. And then you're going to go somewhere beautiful like the Caribbean. And you might go somewhere very quiet and slow and mellow and chill. And you're going to start to experience a new creative part of you. And by getting that variety, you change your perspective so much that you get a chance to learn new things. And by learning new things, you're introducing these new thoughts into your mind. By introducing these new thoughts into your mind, you're going to be able to create a new pattern or a new way around. You ever been like wanting just an idea? You've been stuck in this stupid pattern all the time, and all you do is you just want an idea. It's like, just somebody give me an idea. The reason you're not going to get a new idea is because you're in the same environment and you're experiencing the same thoughts. Get out of your environment and change your pattern. By changing your pattern, that's going to allow you to open up the space to get more creativity. I mean, when I'm traveling, I get some of the best, most creative, beautiful ideas when I'm all over the world or in the country, right? So if I'm on the plane, just sometimes just that like blank stare into the window, not quite comfortable enough to fall asleep, I'll start thinking about like movie ideas or book ideas or what I'm going to talk about for my next podcast or what I'm going to talk about for my next convention or anything like that is what I'm starting to think about while I'm traveling. And that's the stuff that you don't really get when you're in your normal day-to-day routine. You don't always get that. So I encourage you guys, if you want to start learning how to make more money in your life, how to make more money in your business, how to build your wealth portfolio, you're going to have to start increasing the diversity of your ideas. And that's why the word I like to use. When you think of like diversity in the workplace, or you think of diversity in a university system, what's the advantage of diversity? Well, the advantage of diversity is you've got a whole bunch of these different cultures and backgrounds and beliefs that end up changing your perspective on things, giving you arguably more valuable insight into the world and making a better worldview for everybody. That's what the value of diversity is. Now think about the diversity of ideas. What happens when you're just stuck in your job, you're living in the same location, you're doing the same thing, is you're not getting that kind of diversity of ideas anymore. But one of the beautiful ways about getting the diversity of ideas is going out and traveling all over and seeing all sorts of stuff. And you guys probably by now are thinking, okay, dude, you got me. I really want to travel. I think that's a great idea. I really want to learn new cultures and go around the world and start to get soaked up with this beautiful creativity that you get from immersing yourself into other cultures. How do you do that? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. I wanted to give you guys some ideas of different ways that you can start to experience these different cultures while still getting paid. And that's one of the things that I found to be very challenging, and I've also found it to be very easy at the same time. So what's great about the business that I'm in is when you're coaching and consulting and speaking, is you get a chance to travel all over the place to find different people, or you can do a lot of your work online or via laptop. Now, I think you guys know by now there's tons of different things you can do over the laptop, and we've talked about these. You can do things like affiliate marketing, and if you have questions on this, there's other podcasts that I've talked about for like passive income and other strategies or how to make money with no money and lots of stuff like that. But as you guys start to build up your influence, you're going to be able to do things like affiliate marketing, but you don't even need to be an influencer to do affiliate marketing. So one of the things you guys can do is some stuff that I've been doing recently, and that's where you go up on stage. And if you guys say, well, who's going to hire me to come up on stage? Well, maybe nobody. Maybe you can do a free event, or maybe you can even pay to speak on stage. Yes, pay to go speak on stage. Here's why. Because a lot of these different events, you can pay a fee to sponsor. And when you pay a fee to sponsor, it can be anywhere from $200 to $750. You'll go up there, you'll sponsor, and you'll have some type of product that you're affiliated with. If you guys are in the fitness community, you can partner with some type of incredible supplement line. Or if you guys are in the coaching business, you can sell your coaching programs. If you've written or published a book, you can promote your book. There's all sorts of different things that you can do if you have a product available that you can sell. And if you don't have a product, you can go find some type of affiliate. So find a product that you really like that has pretty high margins and a very good sales commission, and then you can go pay to get up on stage. So you spend $250, $300 and say, I'd like to sponsor this event. I'm so-and-so with this company. You get up there and then you guys do your thing. You tell your story. Because a lot of you guys listening to this, some of you are really interested in becoming public speakers, and some of you guys are really good at telling stories, and you're great at public speaking. And this is your opportunity to learn how to make money doing that while you can travel all around and see these different locations. So I'll give you some very tactical tips right now. Here's some things you can do. You can set up whatever your industry is. Let's say fitness, for example. You can set up a Google alert. Okay, so you can go to Google Alerts. You can set up a Google alert for fitness conference in Austin, Texas. Or you can do fitness entrepreneur summit in Austin, Texas, or in the United States, or just fitness conferences. What that's going to do is those alerts are basically going to do automatic Google searches for you every time something pops up, and they're going to send it to your email. When you get that email, you can scrub through it and you can do some lead gen. So when you scrub through it, you can look and see when they've done their conferences, if they have one coming up, and that's what you want to catch. You want to see if they have something coming up. So there might be one for 2019 in September, and they're looking for speakers. So you'll go on their website, you'll contact their people, and they'll say, look, you're a nobody right now. You don't have a big following, you don't have much influence, you don't have much of this, but we are taking on sponsors. And that's like, okay, cool. How much is a sponsorship? $500. Boom. You get a sponsorship deal with them. Then you might get an hour to speak. When you get up there, tell your story, give 80% value, 20% sales. 80% value, 20% sales. That's the recipe I like to use. Some people, you'll go to these things and it's 10% value, 90% sales. I get turned off by that personally. When I go to events, I come there because I want to learn things. I'm not interested in buying stuff. I want to do, very specific personal growth development. And I also don't feel very comfortable when I'm speaking, selling that much. I don't really enjoy it. So I like to give as much motivation, positive encouragement, and just getting a kind of a positive vibe and atmosphere throughout the room. That's really what irks me, or what gets me going, right? Is like when I can finally reach inside somebody and pull out their heart and soul and lift them up. Like that's what I'm going for. And then the sales piece of it's basically just how I can afford for my team and my new van and all this other stuff I got going on. So 80%, you want 80% story, 20% selling. So you get up there and you sell your product, and you're going to have to get to a point where you have like a tight 10. And if you guys don't know what a tight 10 is, so I learned a lot of my public speaking strategies from comedy. And in comedy, what they do is a lot of comedians, big name comedians, people you wouldn't even think of, like, people like Joe Rogan or Jim Gaffigan or who's another one? Kevin Hart talked about this. And what he does is you go to these just nobody comedy clubs in the slums of some city, right? And all you do is you just get up there and you throw stuff at the wall. You throw stuff at the wall, and you start to see where the laughs come. And you take note of what jokes are landing, and then you get rid of the ones that aren't. And you do this over and over again, 10, 20 times sometimes. Just try to get a group of jokes together until you can compress that group of jokes into about 10 minutes. And that first 10 minutes is what's going to set the mood and set the audience on fire for the entire set. So you can do the same thing with public speaking. So this is one of my techniques I like to do. I'll go and I'll do events for free, or I'll help people out, or I'll get invited to do stuff and they can't afford me. And I will just start to talk about a new idea. In a way, sometimes I do this with my podcast. I'll talk about something that's a new idea, or I'll tell a story that hasn't been told before. And then eventually I get a bunch of feedback from you guys. You'll send me awesome emails. You'll send me Instagram stuff. You'll say, this one really sank in. This one really hit home. And I'll remember to use those stories and those examples for the next time. That allows me to compress it into a tight shot group. If you can get about an hour of a tight speech, then you'll be so much better. So that's what I encourage you guys to do, is just get out there and start talking, start speaking, start doing all that stuff. And then you're going to be able to go around and travel and speak at these new locations. So even if you're not to the point where you're getting invited to go speak somewhere, or you're not being an influencer yet to where you're getting paid speaking engagements, you can make money selling from other people's stages. And the way they make money is the promoters get a cut of everything you sell. So it's really a win-win. And these are very easy to find, guys. You just got to find out what your niche is. So like I do a lot of them in fitness. I do a lot of them in real estate, different like wedding venues or wedding events or stuff like that. That's what we're looking into. So like people that are entrepreneurs that are very good at their craft. So people that are like really good real estate investors, they're very good fitness trainers. They're very good, they're just starting out in their fitness owners, or as a fitness business owner. Those are the types of people I love working with, because they're growth minded, they're growing their businesses, they're ready to scale. They totally understand the world of personal growth and development, and I want to introduce them to how they can become even better versions of themselves. And that's where I'll start to sell any of my coaching programs, whether it might be a mastermind or it might be an accountability group. So one of the things I'm really, really excited about is this accountability package that I just launched. It's one of the most affordable packages that I launch. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to my website, click on pricing. But I found that so many people already know what to do. You guys have Google, you guys have YouTube, you guys have iTunes, podcasts, everything, where information is free everywhere. So you know the steps, and they're free. The steps are completely free. You guys know exactly what to do. You can go find it. You just need to get off your ass and go do it. And that's what I found out, is like so many people. I just had a client sign up with me, and he's like, dude, I know exactly what I need to do. I just need someone to kick my ass and make me do it. And I'm like, let's do it. Because that's what they need. They just need accountability. They need someone to push them to their extremes. Like, it's just like a personal trainer, right? When you're like you're like, okay, I'd normally do 8 on the bench press, but it's like, no, get 2, motherfucker. It's like, okay, shit, I gotta get 2 more. It's just like, that's the same kind of thing. Is you want to start to push people to the limit, something they never would have done before. Push them to exhaustion. Make them take that leap of faith. Make them go beyond what they would normally be comfortable doing. And that's what I'm really excited about with my accountability package. So it's a little bit more affordable than my one-on-one coaching, and I've just been having a ton of people that are interested in that. So if you guys are interested, you can always check that out on my website. But those are the things that I'm really interested in sharing with you guys, is how you can get up on the stage and sell some of these types of things, whatever those things are that you're interested in. I mean, if you're in the fitness community, there's tons of fitness conferences, tons of fitness expos. If you're in the real estate community, there's hundreds and hundreds of real estate conventions, real estate investing, growth mindset. You could belong to a software. You could just be like, look, I use this software to manage my rental properties, and you really like that software. So you Google it and you go to the bottom of the freaking, and you say Google software affiliate company. You look at it and you find out an affiliate deal with it. You work out something with the company, and then you say, okay, if I sell X amount of licenses at this conference, do I get a percentage, and how much? And then you go and negotiate that with the promoters of the events, and you might get 5 or 6% of every single license that you sell at one of these conferences. And if they have a room of 200 or 300 people, now you're public speaking, which is something you guys love because you're extroverts and you're freaking really into that kind of thing, and you want to get out there and make your name. You're getting a huge following, you're getting tons of content, and then you're making money. So it's like, just because you're not getting paid doesn't mean that you can't make money doing this kind of stuff. So that's my first technique of how I wanted to share with you guys how you can make money traveling, is doing different speaking events. And just find out what your niche is, right? So if you want to be a speaker, find out what you want to do. Do you want to sell from the stage? Do you want to go with colleges? Do you want to try to go for corporations and speak for them? Just decide what you want to do, because I just got off the phone with a guy today who was asking all about this. He said, look, how do I get into public speaking, man? How do I do what you're doing? And I just explained to him. I said the same thing. I said, find out what you want to do. Because if you want to be like in the college niche, and you're a dropout of college because you decided you wanted to sell crypto, and you might be killing it, you might be making $200,000 a year selling crypto, but colleges and universities want as many degrees and letters and all that stuff after your name as they can until you've been very established. So like, I'm not going to just say that you can't speak at colleges, but like, I've just noticed that if you have like some bachelor degree, master's degree, PhD, those things are much easier to get in the door with at universities and colleges to speak. And then the other thing is, they don't want to hear about anything other than how can you make it the best possible educational experience for the students. How can you share with them the value of whatever course they're in, or whatever university they're in, or how I can educate them at that academic level. So it's very professional, very formal. You go with a corporation, like sometimes you want to look for, like you can go to Google. And this is something that I do sometimes. You go to Google, you look up annual employee event. And that's all you search. Then you go to Google Images. Look through the events that look like something that you think would be interesting. Then you can click on the images and you'll go to the actual event. And a lot of times you're going to see some kind of company or some type of award ceremony or some type of event or whatever it is, and you can find out all their contact information. You plug that into your CRM system, and then you crap out a freaking email distro to those people with all your speaking stuff. So then you have kind of like a tight group of leads that you can send your email list of just speaking to. I mean, that's just one example of something you guys can do if you want to start to get in the speaking space. So how to get paid traveling. That's one of the ways, is traveling around speaking. The other is what we've been doing, right? And that's just, we're trying to make money creating incredible film work and launching a lot of these different programs by capturing some of these beautiful locations that we travel to and sharing those with you guys to tell compelling stories. So it didn't even feel like we were working the whole time. It was just incredible. We were in Destin Beach. We were going, 12, 14-hour days. And it didn't even feel like you were working, because you're on the beach, your shirt's off, you're getting sunburned, you're jumping in the ocean. It was so much fun, because what we were trying to do is we were trying to document this beautiful experience, because that's what we're going to start selling in the future, guys, is we're going to start bringing you guys along with us on some of these incredible vacations that we go on. And I can't talk too much about it, like I said, but if you guys want more information on this stuff, you got to go to my email. I already probably gave away too much, and Marissa's probably going to listen to this and get mad at me, because we're not sticking to the plan, but I don't really have a plan, and I'm just kind of like a dog running around chasing cars, like the Joker said in Dark Knight trilogy. Like we just try stuff. but yeah, guys, I mean, there's some really cool different ways. So you can you can become a media capture, or you can be part of like a film work team. And that's, kind of who I've hired to surround myself with me as we go and travel these different places. So, my videographer, he makes a living now where he gets a chance to travel with me and go to these cool locations and film. I mean, like, that's an awesome experience for him. And I treat him like he's not even on my staff. He's an independent contractor. He has his own business. I help him grow with his own business, and I want him to succeed and get as many, clients as he can on that side of things as well. So you guys can do stuff like that. You can partner up with influencers or other people trying to promote. And if you get really good with a camera or a video, or really good with editing, or you're really good with podcasting or something like that, you guys are able to maybe build onto these influencers' brands and help them explode. So you guys can start to do some of that kind of stuff. The other thing I wanted to talk about was just the idea of blogging, coaching, consulting in general. So if you guys learn if you travel and you do a lot of these different things, is people really want to have what you have. And so what I mean by that is I love following people that have a blog on travel. I love following people on social media that travel for a living, that go all over the world. I mean, dude, I bought a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van because I have this crazy, weird dream about living out of a van the rest of my life. Even though I'm not living out of it, I just think it would be sweet. I don't know what it is about me, dude. And I think it's mostly men, because every time Marissa and I talk about this, or we talk about it with like our friends that are women, they're just like, "Are you kidding me? You want to live out of a van?" I'm just like, yeah. And then every time I talk to a guy out of there, like, "Oh, dude, that's sick. Let's get a Sprinter van. Let's freaking go around the country." I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys know, but for whatever reason, that's what seems to happen. But anyway, it's about, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, the lifestyle. Okay. So when you're traveling and you start to follow these influencers and some of these people that have built this brand around a lifestyle, what travel is freedom, and it's so beautiful. So like being able to put on that type of business where you can take pictures and you can document experiences and you can share with people the different cultures of the places that you're going, to give them that perspective, you're going to start to build a following with that. And just like we talked about before, when you start to experience these different cultures, don't just experience it for you, share that with people, because there are people that aren't able to go to these different, beautiful vacation destinations or travel around the world yet, but they do want some of that culture. They want some of that, they want to taste it, because giving them a taste of it is going to allow them to build their ambitions towards achieving that, if that makes sense. You've got to kind of show them what they want so they can get out of their own routine and become what they actually want to be and learn from that. If you can think of it as like there's these people that are so content in their day to day, but then they get a taste of something that's a little bit different and better, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's that?" I think the best example is Marissa and I. We have a friend of ours that their family, they're very strict vegans, and they're really into holistic health and wellness, and their kids were all brought up with very, very, very healthy diets. Like from the time they came out of the womb, they were doing the breastfeeding thing, but then after like 6 months, it was just avocados and it was vegetables and ground up veggies and all this different stuff. So these kids just learned to love vegetables. They just grew up loving very healthy foods. Well, they turned to be about 2 or 3 years old, and they started to go to their friends' houses and they had sleepovers, and then they found out about chocolate. And they're just like, "Oh my gosh, this chocolate is crazy." And they just became like hooked on this chocolate. They're like, "My taste buds have never tasted anything so incredible." So it's like here they were living their whole life, thinking that this was the only thing that they had was these vegetables. But then in reality, when they started to taste chocolate, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I just opened up a whole new level of sensation as far as taste." And that's the same thing that you can do with travel, by sharing that with people, by sharing with them your journey, by sharing with them all the things that you're learning in your own personal growth and development ventures. So like that's kind of where, I think you guys can go as you start to build your business and you start to travel around the world. Is just document this stuff, take these pictures, share it with people. And then as you start to build up your influence, people are going to want to work with you. They're going to want to learn what you're doing. They're going to want to learn about your vacation destinations. I have a friend that they do exclusively food blogging. And they go to all these different places all around the world. They're really good photographers, and they take pictures of all their food. And they get so many hits on their blogs, on their websites. I think they have a magazine. And it's like they get so many hits on all this stuff that they have built their business around taking pictures of great tasting food. Like, guys, this stuff is not difficult when you can figure out what that niche is that you have. But you got to have some type of skill. And I know a lot of you guys, because you've constantly been reaching out to me with this question: is public speaking? How do I become a public speaker? How do I get paid to be a public speaker? And we beat that one to death early on here. But like, what other skill are you going to bring to the table? Because you're not just going to make money doing nothing. I want to reemphasize that you're not just going to make money traveling doing nothing. You've got to look at what your skill is and how can you bring that skill to as many people as possible. Because as you travel around, you're able to bring your skill to more and more people. And that's the key emphasis I want you to get out of this today. This isn't just like a weird scam on how to make money traveling or how to just work from your laptop or anything like that. It's the philosophy of finding out what skill you can bring to as many people as possible by going to the locations that you want to go to. So if you're a speaker, if you have a product, if you have a gift, if you have a talent, and you can bring that to a new location, get out in the world and start doing that, because that's how you're going to get paid traveling. You're like, oh my gosh, AJ, that's just so simple. It's just like, yeah, if you guys are great guitar players and you go tour the country, that's going to get you paid to go traveling, right? And it's like, it's not rocket scientist. It's not rocket science, guys. It's very simple when you look at it. But get yourself a skill. Get yourself something that people find valuable. If it's video work, there's the whole world is dying for more video content, more video content, more video content. If you guys are entrepreneurs right now and you don't have a video guy on your staff full time, or a photographer, or if you're not good at video or photography yourself, you need to find somebody immediately, because that's where everything's going. I mean, TV is starting to evaporate and it's becoming, everything is going to YouTube and even Instagram. And now the social media giants are fighting for attention over TV. So it's like, you guys need to start figuring out, how do you want to adapt with the future? What skills do you need to start bringing forward? If you guys want to be public speakers, find out what your niche is, what you speak well on, what you know, what you really love to talk about. Because what I love doing is just motivating people, just getting them freaking going, right? That's what I love to talk about. And I can't always bring that out on the podcast because I'm kind of like, trying to keep it calm here, because it'd just be weird if I'm just like in their face the whole time. I mean, that'd just be weird, right? But what I'm talking about is, you got to find out what that thing is that you love talking about. What do you really like to go deep with? And then bring that out to as many people as possible. So find out what that thing is for you. And the reason I talked so much about public speaking before is because, like I said, you guys have, that seems to be the biggest question I've been getting lately. And then usually when I get like more than 10 or 15 questions of the same thing, I'll just launch a podcast and talk about it. So the big questions are like, well, how do you get paid traveling, and how do you become a public speaker? And it's like, that's, I think, the same thing. It's like, being a public speaker, you can go to all these different locations. So like, we got a chance to go to Colorado Springs, Hawaii, all over the place to do a lot of these different public speaking events, because we decided what the skill is that we're bringing. And my skill tends to be I'm able to motivate people, and I'm able to inspire them to totally change their perspective. That's just my skill. But if you're a video person, or you're a fitness person, or you're a real estate expert, there's something that there's something that you're good at that's better than a lot of people. And I say 99% of people. What are you better than 99% of people at? And then how can you start to bring that to more and more people? By bringing that to more and more people, it's going to force you to travel. And then you're going to get paid to travel. So that's the cycle that I want you guys to think about. If you're a fitness expert and you know so much about something, get out there and go share that with people, because that's the cycle. That's how you get paid to travel. So you can take pictures, you can be a videographer, you can be a public speaker, you can learn a skill, you can write about something, you can do all these things. If you're already working off your laptop, you don't really need me for my advice. If you know coding or any type of IT systems or digital marketing or any of that stuff that can be done on the laptop, I'm leaving that out of scope for discussion today, because there's plenty of podcasts and other crap you can get on how to make a living off your laptop. You don't need that from me. But if you want to get paid doing something of influence and of value, you can listen to this kind of stuff, because I want you guys to find out a skill, what is valuable, what is needed, and go learn it. Don't just learn how to tell other people to do stuff. Learn how to do it yourself, and then tell other people how to do stuff. Like, I can give you guys some very specific examples of some techniques that I do for public speaking, of how I actually get events. I mean, it's not like I just sit there and get asked all the time to go speak places. That does happen sometimes, but it's not the majority of the events that we go to. There does require some salesmanship, and you got to go ask people. You got to go tell them, like, hey, I'd love to speak here. I'd love to inspire your group. I'd love to talk to your group. I'd love to sell this to your group. I'd love to do whatever. And then you can start to build out your following. So I encourage you guys to look at that. I encourage you guys to look at all the different things that you have going for you right now in your life. all the different things people tell you you're good at, all the things you know that you're already good at, that you've been sitting on, that you're like, hey, you know what, I always was a really good artist, I always was a really good this or that. Those are the things I want you to think about and how you can bring that out to more people. So, with that said, folks, we have so much exciting stuff coming for you guys. We have, I really want to tell you everything about it, what it is, but I can't quite tell yet because it's a little too far out. So if you want to learn more, go to aaronjarmstrong.com/email, sign up for my email list. We're going to send you some more information directly to your inbox about what this is that we're launching and what we're coming up with. So, I mean, you have some hints. We're talking about travel. You know, we have this beautiful beach that we were filming. You're going to see some of my Instagram stuff come out with that. But there's a lot more stuff out there that we're going to be launching. So I'm really excited. This is this is probably my favorite idea that we've ever come up with. I have stopped all of my investing. I have stopped all of my, all of my other gigs and everything else going on because I'm focusing on this one so much because I'm so excited and passionate about it. So go to aaronjarmstrong.com/email, sign up for my email list, and we'll see if we can get the ball rolling. Getting you guys involved and learning a little bit more about what we got coming for you. But with that said, guys, that's really all I had for you today. I know this is a really short one, but we got some really exciting stuff coming up. We've got Anthony Trucks coming up on our next podcast. Really excited about that one. We also have some pretty big influencers coming down the pipe. So I'm just really excited to talk to you all again next week as you hear this next episode. I apologize again for being backloaded. We've been so busy trying to plan everything that's been coming up, which you're only going to find out via email. And then we hopefully will be launching this thing out, rolling out this summer. So thanks so much, everybody. Thank you for listening today. Once again, this is Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews. I'm your host, AJ Armstrong. You can follow me on Instagram at AaronArmstrong33. That's AaronArmstrong33. Or you can go to my website, aaronjarmstrong.com. Thanks so much. Be somebody.